So we can start. So hi everyone, my name is Hubert. Here in Sales Menago, I'm responsible for international sales and strategy for the customers. So my experience is strictly connected with the fashion industry, as I was leading my own e-commerce platform, which was connected with the fashion. We were a manufacturer of the t-shirts and similar stuff. So I know how to work with the customers within the fashion industry from two sides, as I was responsible for this kind of business, and also as right now I'm currently working with various customers from various industries. Why we decided to have this webinar today for the fashion industry? It's because Sales Menago is a marketing automation customer data platform which is strictly verticalized. I mean, we like to work the most with the verticals, the key verticals that we are working with. Those verticals are fashion. This is the most popular one. We have got also beauty, finance, and travel. So those four verticals are the strongest for us. We have got know-how on the market. We know how to speak with the customers. We understand you, and we know what kind of key metrics and KPIs you would like to increase during the cooperation. So on today's meeting, you will learn something about how Sales Menago works. I know that on our meeting we have got few customers, we have got few people who are quite new with our platform. So that's why I would like to summarize our knowledge and to explain once again how exactly Sales Menago works. It will take us 5 minutes. The second part will be connected with use cases. So the things I think you're most interested in. So what kind of use cases we can implement according to customer acquisition, increasing the engagement, increasing the revenue, and improving the retention. And what exactly should be considered before the implementation. So if you will say that, yeah, I would like to do it, what exactly you have to think about before the implementation. So how the fashion industry looks like in the marketing automation perspective. From our knowledge and from our experience, what we can see when the customers are coming to us and they are saying, hey, we would like to implement marketing automation, but we are currently struggling some problems. So those problems are mainly low retention of the customers. This is something that's happening in not only in the fashion, also in the beauty industry. So low retention of the customers. We have got several methods to fight with this, to build the proper customer journeys. So I would like to share those ideas today. Point number 2 is the large number of products. So within the fashion industry, the e-commerces are providing a lot of different products for the customers, which is of course cool, but at the end of the day, the customer, when he's doing some research on the website, he can get lost. So we would like to think what exactly we can improve in that area to maybe personalize a little bit those listings, to show the products more according to the customer behavior, to his previous transactions, to filter at the very beginning the products who are relevant for the customer. Point number 3 is segmentation part. So especially in fashion, we need to focus on two most important, let's say, axes of the segmentation. The first one will be transactional. The second one will be behavioral. So we need to think about it. Point number 4 is high number of product returns. So as we can see, you probably know from your experience in fashion industry, we have got a lot of returns from the customers. We have to think how to, let's say, maybe not fight against it, because there is probably no way how to fight against it properly, but the proper way will be to separate somehow the people who have got high return percentage. And the last part will be connected with personalization. So as we are providing various types of product personalization, we have to think what exactly and where, when and where we should recommend. Because from our experience, it looks like this, that on the product page, we should prepare different segmentation, different personalization. In the checkout process, the personalization should be a little bit also different. So we will think today about how to achieve this. Okay, so let's start with the short explanation how Sales Menago works. There is also one important thing from my side. On the during the webinar, you can use this questions pool. If you have some question, if you would like to ask about something, if you don't understand, just let me know, and I will try to answer. Okay, so how Sales Menago works. So Sales Menago is marketing automation platform, and so we are focusing here mainly on the single customer view. We are calling this view 360 degrees. It's because we are collecting data from different data sources, which are not, let's say, connected each other. The first one is the website behavior, I think the most popular one. So all the behavior that we are collecting from the website, in which products the customer is really interested in, what kind of brands he is looking for, what kind of, let's say, budget he can spend thanks to checking what kind of products he's looking for. So going very deeply to his behavior on the website, tracking the visit, checking the sources of the visit, duration, time spent on the website, and stuff like this. The second very important and popular data source is the transaction part. So we can collect the transaction from online and from offline also. So every information about the purchase that the customer made should be also acquired in the system. Thanks to this, we know what kind of products the customer had bought, what kind of categories it was, what kind of brand, and stuff like this. And regarding data sources, of course, mobile application, social media, loyalty programs that you're currently running, or any external CRM, ERP, or data warehouse that you are using can be used as a data source and should be used as a data source because amount of data and the system is like fuel in your car. If you have a huge amount of fuel, you can go very, very far. The same exactly as with marketing automation. If our data sources will be connected, if our scope of data will be quite big, this gives us quite good possibility to perform better personalized campaigns, better personalized scenarios. So those scenarios are being presented here in the execution methods. So after we will build the profile of the customer, we know exactly what he likes, what he is buying, what's his behavior. We can execute some actions. Some of them will be quite basic, some of them will be more advanced, some of them will be supported by our AI tools, so we can simply give you more information how the customer probably is going to behave in terms of probably checking the probability of making a purchase or probability of churning. So this kind of solutions are also included into the system and they are being used as the execution methods. And if we are talking about sending some content, so executing something to deliver a content to the customer, we have the different channels of communication that we can deliver those content. So we are providing, of course, email marketing channel. This is fully independent channel in our system. You don't need to use any external platform to send an emails. It's built into the system, our infrastructure, so you can use it. We are sending, of course, basic campaigns. We are sending more complicated campaigns based on the different, data that we have on this in the system. The website part is also quite a big channel of communication because on the website we can show different types of recommendation, different types of images, depends on your, let's say, idea. Other communication channels, we are also using live chat, push notification, or in case of offline stores, point of sales, so we can send some recommendations into the point of sales. So this is, in short explanation, how Sales Menago works. The point number 1 is data, point number 2 is automation, and point number 3 is personalization and sending content. Okay, so let's switch right now to the presentation number 2. This is in fact some white paper which explain how exactly the customers within the fashion industry works. what kind of strategies we are using for them. This PDF will be sent to you after the webinar, so you will get this PDF, so don't worry. If we are talking about supporting the fashion e-commerces, we have 6 most important areas that we are focusing on. Point number 1 is profiling and segmenting the customers, which is necessary in any e-commerce. It's not only for the fashion, but in any e-commerce it's necessary. Point number 2 is driving omni-channel sales, increasing shop conversion, purchase process optimization on each step of our sales funnel, boosting marketing effectiveness, overall effectiveness, because in fact Sales Monago is responsible for different areas of digital marketing, not only about the sales. So we are focusing also on lead generation. We are also focusing somehow on customer support, building the customer journey. So we would like to boost the overall effectiveness in different areas of our activities. And the last part, e-commerce customer lifecycle management. You have to know that Sales Monago is also responsible for whole life cycle. So from the very beginning, before acquisition of the contact, until the process of retention. So after the first purchase, on each step of the sales funnel, we can adapt some strategies. So that's why we are covering also that part. So currently in Sales Monago, we are working with more than 15,000 customers all over the world. Fashion, as I told you, is one of our best, let's say, industry best vertical. Here we have got some samples of market leaders that are currently using Sales Monago. Those customers are our customers, so the big brands that probably most of you knows. So let's focus on the first area, the acquisition part. So here we have a set of the scenarios that can be used according to acquisition of the content. The point number 1 is launching a dynamic pop-up. So this is something that we are trying to change in minds of marketers currently. From my experience, 95% of websites are quite the same. So they are showing the pop-up immediately after the customer will open the website, which is already a wrong way to do it. Much more better solution is to perform a dynamic pop-upping of the customer. So if we will spot this, that someone is interested in sport, men, fashion, you are showing a pop-up, so the image and the content, which is relevant to his behavior. So some image connected with a guy who is, for example, running, and the question, if you would like to have information about new collection of the sport, just please subscribe for the newsletter. If we have got a girl or a woman who is looking for elegant shoes, we have to show different pop-up. Yeah, so dynamic pop-upping will be much more effective, and our case study shows that within the same traffic, with usage of dynamic pop-ups, we can generate around 30 to 50% more leads. So let's say we can have quite good, let's say, improvement in that area only thanks to showing proper content to anonymous customers. Point number 2 is about integrating and collecting offline and online data. So this is something that I told you. Keep in mind, of course, that the fashion industry is very, let's say, connected with the ROPO and reverse ROPO effect. So the customers are making the research offline, they're buying online, and in the opposite way. So to fight somehow with this, to have a better view on the customer, each customer that we have got in our database, what we have to do is simply track the online and offline data, because at the end of the day, it will be used to build the full profile. I have got a question. Is it necessary to use your live chat, or is it possible to use third parties? So we have got our own live chat solution, which is built in the system. The advantage of our live chat is that it's connected with our platform. So if we will recommend, generate some recommendation thanks to our recommendation engine, and you will send some recommendations over the email, the same recommendations we can show in the live chat. So of course you can connect your own live chat over the API, but you will be sending rather basic data. From our point of view, it's much more better to use our live chat because the first thing is that you have got, let's say, this tool inside one platform. And the second part is the content you will be sending will be simply consistent. So the same content you will be showing on the website, in the live chat, and in the email marketing channel. So definitely my advice is much more better to simply use the one platform to perform also live chat notifications. Point number 3, displaying a push consents. So I don't know if you know web push notifications. Those are the notifications which are being displayed by the browser on the top right side on the Mac computers, on the bottom right side in the Windows computers. Those push notifications are, let's say, a little bit different way of contacting with the customer, because we can contact with anonymous users. If we are talking about pop-ups, to subscribe to pop-up, the customer have to provide his data like email address. In case of push notifications, he need only to allow to receive those notifications. So this is some kind of advantage, because it's much more easier to click yes in the window instead of providing and confirming the email in the inbox. So what we would like to achieve is to send those notifications, which can be also automated and personalized, even the customer is not on your website. So for example, he can watch YouTube, he can read Facebook, or he can do anything else. And if the notification will be sent from the system, he will receive this notification, and the average click-through rate is something around 30%. So if we'll compare to email marketing channel, is simply higher. Okay. Point number 4, generate dynamic offers for anonymous users. So basing on the history of anonymous users, because the anonymous customer can visit your website once, twice, or 3 times, we can build his profile, and thanks to our recommendation engines, we can generate dynamic offers. So if we'll notice that the customer is really interested in product A, we can show this product in some kind of frame or in some kind of pop-up, and offer him a special discount if he will decide to make a purchase, let's say within next 24 hours. So this is some kind of pressure that we can make on the customer to simply close him to make the conversion. And the part connected with creating newsletter form with a discount for the first purchase. Here we have got a sample. Of course, this is the easiest way how to use the gated content. In case of B2B, is a little bit harder. If we are talking about e-commerce, in e-commerce usually we are giving discount codes or free delivery after subscribing to newsletter. Keep in mind that those kind of notification can be presented only to the customers who are really engaged. So to avoid the situation that we are offering 20 euro of discounts to everyone, we can simply check, we can track who is really close to make a purchase, and only to those customers we can show this kind of notification. Okay, point number 2, so engagement. If we are talking about engagement of the customers, one of the most popular scenario is running the lead nurturing campaign. So lead nurturing campaigns are the educational campaigns who are mainly focused on giving some additional value to the customer. So if we have a customer on the very beginning of our sales process, he is on the consideration stage, so he is probably comparing your offer with the offers from the competitors. He's doing some additional research, he's looking for the reviews. This is the time that you can generate some educational campaigns for them. What we can do here? We can, of course, run some cycles of the emails. This is the most popular way, with some additional information about the history of your company, about the way how you're manufacturing your products, some tutorials, some additional information. For example, here we have got the sample about the eco-friendly way of obtaining cotton for your t-shirts and stuff like this. So those emails are mainly they are not connected with the sales process, so we are not offering the products. In lead nurturing cycles, we are mainly focused on the education of the customer, and thanks to this, we are preparing the customer to make a purchase. So this is some different way how we can engage the customer. Okay, so the scenario number 2, dynamic emails after visit. I think this is one of the most popular strategy in e-commerce if we are talking about marketing automation. So this is also a part which is connected with quite good revenue, because this is one of the best converting scenarios. Very basic way to do it is to simply send an email after the customer will visit your website and recommend some products based on his previous visit. So if I was visiting the website, if I have seen 5 products, you can show those 5 products in the email. If you would like, you can extend it a little bit, so we can do also some machine learning algorithms and offer the products that the other customers bought or the other customers has seen. So those emails will be, let's say, according to customer behavior. The main idea here is that if you are sending 1,000 emails per day, you have to send 1,000 different emails per day instead of sending the same message. So this is the main idea which stays behind the proper personalization. Another scenario is running a birthday campaign. So if you are collecting birthday date, and sometimes it's during the registration, sometimes it's via some dedicated actions like providing this data in the pop-up. If you have information about the birthday, we can trigger automated campaign, let's say 1 week before the birthday, with some dedicated voucher or a discount code for the favorite clothes or for the favorite brand. Another way is social proofing. So this is something that I would like to show you in the system. So a functionality which shows you how many people are currently looking for the product, or how many people currently bought this product. So I will explain you how it works. I will show you in the system. So we have got social proof widget. You can add new widget. And as you can see, we have got different widget types. We can count fields, we can count cards or transactions, depend on what exactly you would like to show. If you would like to show how many customers bought particular products, let's decide that we would like to show it on the smartphone. Of course, you can decide the amount of, let's say, the design of this social proof widget, the background, the image, stuff like this, close it button, animation, and similar way. And if you go to settings, here we can decide from data from what time range we would like to show. So for example, let's show data from last 10 days. And we can show that hurry up, because those product has been purchased, let's say 55 times within last 10 days. So depending on your idea, depending if you would like to show the transactions, depending if you would like to show the views, the scenario can work in a little bit different way. But this is a good way how to make a little bit more pressure on the customers. And especially if you have got on your product page information about how many products are left in stock. Because if the customer will see that his product is running out of stock, and this product is really viewed or purchased by another people right now within last few days, it can be another trigger to convince him to make a purchase. So this is also quite new functionality, but the strategy that probably you know from the different sites, which already works. Okay, using automated segmentation to select a group of users who did not make a purchase within 7 days after the registration. This is also quite basic scenario that can be done in the system. We have got a tool where you can build step-by-step a flow for your customers. So if we will trigger that flow in the moment when the customer is making a new registration, and we will check that after 7 days he didn't make a purchase, it can be a trigger for us to simply send some additional content, to send some additional information, maybe some discount code for the customer. And the last part connected with the engagement stage is sending and recovering abandoned cards. This is also connected with quite good revenue, because saving abandoned cards is something that can bring you the highest amount of cash at the end of the day if you are talking about marketing automation. So probably you know from your own metrics, but what we see is that around 75% of baskets are being abandoned. So our top performers, best customers of Sales Menago can save up to 5% of the abandoned cards. So the easy calculation for you right now, if you will check how many abandoned cards do you have per month, what's the average basket rate, if you will multiply it, and if you will take 5% of this, this is the revenue that Sales Menago can bring. So this is one of the most popular scenario. Of course, we are starting with the very basic one. So we are starting with sending the first only the email at the beginning, but within the next days we are trying to expand saving abandoned cards by sending also push notifications. So here we have got quite good sample how it can looks like. And what we are doing also is that we are using different channels like social media. SMS marketing works really good in that case also, and we are also showing some dedicated recommendation on the website. There is a question, is it possible to send a random code Sales Menago generated to every client to avoid sending the code between clients? So regarding the discount codes, we have got two approaches depending on how you would like to proceed. The first way is to have the same discount code for everyone. So for example, discount 5, which is in fact the code for 5% of discount. The second possibility is that on your own e-commerce platform, you're generating the list of, for example, 1,000 individual codes, and we are simply assigning one by one. So when we will be sending this discount code in some, for example, automated email after visit, every customer that will receive that email, he will also receive some personalized discount code. So these are the two possibilities. Of course, Sales Menago can generate some random string, and the Sales Menago can send some requests to your API, to your e-commerce platform to generate this, let's say this discount code for you, but depends on the integration. So in fact, there are three ways, depend how you would like to proceed with that part. Okay, the revenue, point number 3. Let's think what kind of scenarios do we have here. The first one is using advanced deep behavioral profiling feature to simply to track in which products the customer is most interested in. So currently, if let's say we have got an average customer who is visiting the fashion e-commerce sites, usually he's visiting more than 50 or 20 products. So how to spot in which products he was really interested in, he was most interested in? It's getting some problems nowadays. So that's why we, let's say, find out a way how to solve that problem. And that's why we call this feature deep behavioral profiling, because visiting the product today, tracking this data is not enough. What we need to do is to go a little bit deeper in our research. So let's say that we are on the product page. Here we have got an analytics for Claudia. If you will go to the product page, as you know, on your product page, you have got sets of different actions that you can perform on the product. So we can switch the photos, we can zoom photos, we can change the variants of the products, change the colors, change the size, or take a look at additional information. And what you can see for each customers, we have got information about most popular products, and each product is generating some amount of scoring. And in fact, those scoring is being added thanks to each activity that was listed here. So if the customer has visited 20 different products, but we need to select 5 of the products that the customer is really interested in, what we need to do is to check the scoring of the product. In that case, we see that this customer is really most engaged with that clock because the scoring is 81. So it will be any information for us to send this product over the push notification, over the email, over the any external channel of communication that we would like to use to connect the user. So this is the way how we are proceeding with quite good high amount of products that are currently on the website. Used personalized recommendation frames on the product page. So this is also something that we are using on a daily basis to generate more revenue. Here you have got a sample how the recommendation frames can look like. So here we have got the basket of the customer, and we see that he added to the basket this kind of jacket. So the recommendation frame that is being displayed for the user is showing the products which were purchased with that product. So the customers who bought that product bought also, and we have got set of 4 different products. So this is based on our machine learning scenarios. Every day the machine learning algorithms are counting the transactions, are counting the visit. Thanks to this, we know which products are connected to each other, and this kind of personalization can be added as a recommendation frame to the basket or to the product page, depending how you would like to proceed. Another thing that can be used as a trigger to increase the basket value of the customer is also the dynamic pop-upping feature, but here we are going to indicate the value of missing for the free delivery. So as you can see here, for example, this is a frame which is displayed, but you can also embed it as a website. If the free shipment starts from 100 euro, we are giving information how much money the customer have to spend also to get this free delivery. So we can also filter to show the products which are over that price. So just to make sure that the customer will add the product and he will get a free delivery. Depends on you, but this is also some kind of way how we can convince the customer to make some upsell on the website. We were speaking about chat conversations, so live chat conversations. Just to remind, in our live chat conversation, we can show some recommendations according to the customer behavior. I can show you how exactly it looks like on our demo account. So if we start the conversation with the customer, this is a field where we can exchange the messages. On the right side, you have got an access to the contact card of the user, and you can see product recommendations here. So we see what the customer has visited over the last visit, what he have got in the cart and he didn't purchase, and what are the AI recommendation. So we can simply share the product that we selected, the product from the last visit, and stuff like this. So this is also a way how to help the customer to close the conversion. And the last part here is running a cross-selling campaign. After adding a cart to a cart a leather shoes, we can display a dynamic pop-up with a discount for the shoe polishes. So this is another way how it can be done, how it can be solved. If thanks to this that we are tracking those transactions, we are tracking those behavior, we know which products can be relevant to customer behavior. That's why we know what we can offer to run a proper cross-selling campaign. But keep in mind that the cross-selling campaign can be displayed in any way, how you would like. It can be sent over the email, it can be displayed as a pop-up, it can be displayed as a frame on the website. Okay, and the last part connected with retention. So the most popular scenario in retention is building the loyalty programs. Probably some of you are running currently some loyalty programs, but for the customers who are not doing it currently, we have got a solution. Just because we are tracking the amount of transactions, the value of transactions, we know how much the customer has spent in his whole history. We can build a quite basic loyalty program to, for example, build thresholds. Up to 50 euro spent is the threshold number 1, up to 200 euro spent is the threshold number 2. And of course, each threshold will be connected directly with the discounts that we can give to the customer, or some additional value like free delivery, early access to sales, or some discount or promotions, depends on you. So in Sales Menago, you can build quite easy but good working loyalty programs. It's not also so complicated. It's less than 3 hours of work if you have got some templates. Setting up it in the system will be quite easy scenario. The solution number 2 is especially good if we are talking about fashion industry, but if we are talking about kids and children. So for those types of companies, the most important data is to store information about date of birth of child. So we are talking about marketing automation, so we are talking about whole life cycle, which can take 1 year, 2 years, 5 years. So we would like to track the information on a daily basis about the birth of the kid. So if someone is buying, let's say like here, a sweater for 3 years old girl, after 1 year, we can, to build this retention, we can send some reminder that right now your girl have got 4 years and probably you need a new sweater for them. So to build the proper scenario, of course, we need to possess that kind of data. It will be more accurate, of course, if we will have the date of birth of the children, but even if we will have information that last year someone has bought a product for 2, 3, 5 years old, this year we can simply add +1 year and to personalize this content once again. Very important scenario and very important functionality in terms of building proper retention is using the personalized banners. So we were speaking a lot about personalization of the website, embedding the frames, dynamic frames on the website, but keep in mind that also on your websites you are using some banners, and probably you are using the main banner, which is the first banner after the customer will open the site. What we can do is to personalize him also. So we are going to display different banner for the customers who visit your website for the first time, different for the customer who is very close to make a purchase, and also different banner for the customer who is within your VIP group, let's say. So who is really interested, who is buying very often, and he's spending a lot of money. So that's why we can personalize not only the products that you are showing, but also the banners. If you are sending some links to your blog, it can be also different for the man and for the woman. So keep in mind to personalize that customer journey also over the proper building of the website. And the last 2 scenarios, the first one is connected with the segmentation. So to discuss about this process, you need to understand how RFM automation works. So in fact, RFM is a segmentation tool. The name comes from recency, frequency, and monetary. So we have got RFM. I can show you how it looks like in the system. I think this is one of our best functionality and customers really love it. So if, let's say, we will take a look at the monetary value, so we will take a look at our whole database. We have got a group of savers, we have got a group of medium spenders, and a group of spenders, so the people who spend the highest amount of cash, for example, in last year. So of course you are deciding what are the thresholds to be a medium, what are the thresholds to be a saver. So let's imagine that to be a saver, you have to spend less than 50 euro per year. And what we can see from our, let's say, dashboards, our analytics, is that here we are very close to Pareto rule. So the spenders are usually something around from 15 to 20% of whole database, but they are responsible for 70 to 80% of revenue. So it's extremely important to distinguish those groups and to treat the spenders in a little bit different way, more exclusive way, let's say. So what we need to do for them is to provide a different content and also provide different content for the savers and for the medium spenders. And the idea which stays behind those scenario is to track in automated way the situation when the customer was, for example, a spender, so he was really spending a lot, but he changed the group for the saver, for example. So he started to spend a less amount of cash, or he stopped to buy. So Sales Menago, we are marketing automation tool. We can automate this process. We can track it on a daily basis, and you can run some campaign in automated way exactly for that customer. So every time when the customer will change his let's say transactional behavior, you can change the approach and send some additional content, some additional information. And the last part is connected with upselling. So running the upselling campaigns. Here we have got a sample. 2 weeks after buying a blouse, suggest buying matching skirts and trousers from the same collection at a higher price. So this is the easiest way how we can perform upselling. Another way what you can do is to run this kind of upselling campaigns, but with usage of AI and machine learning recommendations. So if someone has bought some, let's say, skirt, we can take a look what else the other customers has bought, and after 2 weeks send to the people who bought exactly that skirt, just to make sure that we are offering the product which are relevant to the product that the customer has bought in the past. So this is a sample how it can work. So these are the let's say the scope of the scenarios that can be implemented. I think there is a lot of them. Of course, we can go behind them. We have got sets of different automations that are being used on a daily basis. We simply define the most popular, the most important ones. And this presentation, as I thought, will be sent to you after the meeting, so keep it in mind. If we are talking about the implementation of the marketing automation tool, what you have to consider before, what you have to think is the two things. The first one is data integration. The second one is the business scenarios. If we are talking about data integration, you need to think if you have only online store, or you would like to add also some offline transactions. What will be the data scope to send? From our point of view, as I told, if we have got good scope of data, good amount of data, the personalization will be simply strongest. And the business scenarios prioritization is about your ideas and our ideas. So as you can see, we have got ideas what to implement. We know how to handle the good fashion e-commerce project, but also if you have got some pain points at the beginning of the cooperation, if you would like to automate some processes at the very beginning, definitely this is also important for us and crucial for us. So this is something that we are going to address within the first weeks of the cooperation. To make this cooperation successful, we need to simply prioritize those campaigns and to simply think what we are doing step by step, week by week. Usually in this kind of cooperations, we are providing a Gantt charts which are showing week by week the scenarios that will be implemented and what exactly you have to do on your side to perform it. And the last thing that we would like to discuss are the case studies. So in the New Balance case study, for example, you can see how effectiveness can be performing the proper, implementing the proper mechanism and proper scenarios. Here we have got automated email with the products which were tailored to the customer depending on the gender, type of the footwear and clothing that the customer is buying. So you can see the increasement of the open rate and CTR in relation to mass communication. So 400% higher open rate and CTR, which is quite normal, I would say, if we are talking about automated messages. This is something that we are achieving on a daily basis, not only within the fashion e-commerce, but in every e-commerce, because automated emails will be always better than the mass communication that we are providing for the users. And another case is the case of the win-back campaign. So win-back campaigns are the campaigns who are being sent for the customers who are inactive on the website. For example, for 30 days, 60 or 90 days. Here we have got a sample of effects that we get with the New Balance after sending those win-back campaigns, but with machine learning and AI recommendations. So we were checking, we are looking for customers within the similar profiles. We were looking what exactly they have bought. And for the inactive customers, we were offering those products. So you can see the increasement also in open rate and CTR, how exactly it affected the open rates and CTR. And of course, we are providing more case studies on our website. You have got 10 success stories of biggest European brands. You can download, you can take a look how exactly it's affecting the conversions. So we are, quite self-confident in that part that we are able to provide quite good implementation. If you would like to test, it's fine with us. Right now, because of the COVID situation, for the customers, we are providing some kind of proof of concept model. So every customer that would like to test the system for free without any, any investment on their side, we can start some proof of concept to show you how to do it. We can implement on your site our solution, so you will see how exactly it's affecting the sales. And after that time, you can take some decision if you would like to cooperate with us or not. But our success conversion rate currently is around 95%. So 95% of people who are testing the platform, they are deciding for the cooperation at the end of the day. So if you would like to do it, feel free to reach me or answer the email that you will receive after the webinar. I will use the chat here, so I will send you also my email address if you would like to reach me directly. This is my email address, hubertolszewski@salesmenago.com. And that's all for today. Thank you for joining this webinar. You will receive the link to the registration, so the recording of that video and also the PDF that we discussed today. So I'm here in case of questions for a few minutes. So if you have some questions, just try to type. I will try to answer. If not, thank you very much and hope to hear you soon.